Hey, welcome back, y'all, to the Metro Icon Podcast. Your host, Shawn Kay the Showman, here to talk a little bit about some updates as we go into this new Metro Icon episode in season 3. And as well, I'm going to be conducting a lot more interviews in the process of these episodes being released every single Sunday morning. So make sure you guys are pushing that follow and subscribe button on all platinum platforms. That's what I'm gonna call it. All right. As of right now, the episodes are being released on YouTube. We'll be working out to pop them on Spotify and re-release the episodes on Spotify with the video portions that are available. Until then, check it here on YouTube for every single week the new episodes. First and foremost, I'm going to shout out my buddy Fawad out in Pakistan. That's been working diligently to edit these episodes for me and get me all prepared for the season 3 release. So make sure you guys reach out to him at his email. If you guys need your videos edited, he will be the guy to take care of you. You know, who said guys in Pakistan can get it done for you? Because they can. And of course, let me tell you where I'm going to be at every single week. Of course, on Tuesdays, you can catch me running bingo karaoke at the library bar from 9 to 1. It has been probably one of the most animated biggest nights of the week. Of course, I just DJ'd last night at the library bar and it was popping, but Tuesday nights are different. So bingo numbers are called with every karaoke performance that goes up on stage, and there are 3 chances to win bingo throughout the night where you can get money put towards your tab. That's right, free credits from the library bar towards your tab. Doesn't get better than that. So check me out at the library bar for bingo karaoke. And of course, every last Friday of the month, we have the Bali Smoke Comedy Show at Stadium Sports Bar in Addison. So, new lineup has been put up. The last show was phenomenal. So we have a little bit of a tighter lineup, but it is phenomenal comedians. So make sure you guys get your free tickets on Eventbrite as they are getting posted. But of course, make sure you guys are going on Instagram. Follow me at Shawn Kay Do It All to get announcements and updates of all upcoming events. And hopefully, I'll be in a city near you. Let's talk about our sponsors and our trusted brands like InsiderCloth.com, the last microfiber cloth you will ever need, because we all know that you guys are using your general fabrics, your shirts, and whatever you have on to go ahead and clean off your cell phone, glass lens, or your glasses itself, but you don't understand the actual damage that you are doing to those glass surfaces. Insider Cloth is so conveniently packed right under your shirt on any apparel, and you can literally keep the habit, change the fabric, and take care of all those glass lenses that are powering your life. So go to insidercloth.com if you want to take advantage and try it out yourself. Go put in the promo code DIA Cloth. That's DIACLOTH to get 10% off your first order at insidercloth.com. All right. And of course, got to talk about my boy, Teddy Johnson of D&K Contracting, the dude who is the do-it-all of contract work for your next home restoration or possibly that insurance claim. Because you guys know those headaches, and it's, well, here around Texas, storm season's coming through, and it never stops. All right. Everything is bigger in Texas, and so are the storms and possibly the damage on your homes. All you got to do is just email him, get a free consultation. You'll see exactly why all his clients always come back and why he cares so much for every single person. He'll eliminate all of those headaches that you have when it comes to dealing, especially with those insurance claims. So email my guy, Teddy Johnson, at teddyj.dkcontracting@gmail.com. Get a free consultation. You'll see exactly why he is your guy for that next home restoration or home repair project. All right. And whether it is your next live event or media production, I am your one-stop event shop. Do It All Entertainment provides all services for your next private or corporate event or live event that you have happening, and as well, it is a show that you will not see anywhere else. All right, you can check us out at doitallive.com over there, or email us at info@doitallentertainment.com. And then, of course, DIA Media for your next media project. You see how these media productions are going, but you can shoot us an email at diamediapro@gmail.com if you're looking to get some video work done. All right, y'all. Let's go into this very highly anticipated episode with the one and only Mike Danielson, realtor, Payday, as he's known throughout the streets. And when I say highly anticipated, I mean it's for Mike Danielson, because we shot this episode, obviously, pre-recorded last year in preparation between the move and everything like that. And this dude has constantly ask me, when's the episode coming out? When's that episode coming out? Well, we're finally here. So, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, turn up your volume, because I wouldn't even have this studio space in home with me and my new family if it wasn't for this guy, Mike Danielson. So turn your speakers up. Here's my episode with Mike Danielson.
You can do it all. You can. Do it all, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Metro Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Kay the Showman of Do It All Entertainment and DIA Media, to bring you this episode, y'all. And you know what we do on this show? We talk about the world of entertainment and media and the icons that live in it. And man, do I got an icon in the building today. He is a man that is taking DFW by storm from one house to another, known from his prominent role with Keller Williams Realty, but back in the day known as Payday. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the one and only Mike Danielson in the house, y'all.
What's up, man? How you doing, Shawn?
How you doing, brother? Happy to have you on the show. How does that cheers and applause?
It made me feel so good, man.
It doesn't
So
it?
good.
Yeah, I
But
feel it.
I still go by Payday.
Yeah, is like when you have your clients and stuff, do you have them call you Mike, or do they call you Payday?
I mean, jokingly, sometimes they call me Payday. My plate's on my truck. They say Payday right now.
Oh, really? I love it.
So
So
people will pull up and they'll be like, what's Payday? Like, I'm like, I'm a real estate agent.
yeah, make sure you talk nice and close
Oh,
to the microphone.
I said,
or you can bring it up closer to you
They'll
if
ask,
you want. It's adjustable.
what's Payday? And I'm like, well, that's my name. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, how? And I'm like, I used to rap, or I do movies, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll tell you this right now is that one thing that I've always respected about Mike Danielson here is that this is a man that understands his branding, is consistent with it, and your network skills are like beyond par. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that that's one thing that I always loved about you. I think that's one thing that kind of gravitated our relationship. Obviously, we have John that kind of brought us together as that mutual connection. John has introduced me to some incredible characters. One that you're very, very close to is Mr. Alexander K. We had his episode featured not too long ago.
The villain of comedy.
The villain of comedy, the stepdad of comedy. Look out for that stepdad series. But, it was time and time again that you and I were seeing each other, and you're just like, man, when are we doing our episode?
Yeah,
And I'm like-
exactly.
And I knew it was coming. Because one thing we talk about the world of entertainment media, and you obviously came from an entertainment background. And then, you decided, I'm going to use these skill sets that I naturally have and go into real estate. And it's safe to say that it's been going pretty damn well for you,
Yeah. I was rookie of the month every month.
Yeah.
That I was a rookie. I stopped being a rookie April 1st.
Yeah. Okay.
And now I've got top 20% in the whole entire office.
There we go. And the testament is to that is that you took these skills that you developed through your entertainment career, through this former rap career, and ultimately you transcended that to this new career that really just plays in with each other, that kind of goes hand in hand. So I think that's a beautiful thing, because I had one of my first within my first 10 episodes, I had this gentleman, Dr. Ruben Brown, who owned Pure Profile Credit Solutions. They were actually one of my sponsors
cool.
for the Metro Icon competition. And when he came on, a lot of it was engaged conversation, talking about the world of, establishing credit and how creditors, look, and how your credit score typically works and all that kind of stuff. And for that, might not sound exciting to.
It's exciting to me.
But to the layman entertainer, let's call that, or the layman artist, right? But the one thing, and I know that for me, the education came very late in the game. I want to with this show, I want to provide education to a lot of entertainers for their long-term planning, right? Because when anybody decides to become a full-time entertainer, you're working for yourself. You're becoming a self-entrepreneur. And for yourself, I mean, you did that. You ran a hustle game within, the entertainment game and within the rap game, and then you transcended that. And now you have a sense of security, but you're still holding on to your ties and that whole background.
It's my foundation.
Yeah. So, I guess what was the catalyst that, coming from the entertainment game, that you're like, you know what, I want to go into real estate. This is what I want to do.
So I did real estate 22 years ago in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
So that's where I started. I was already doing rap back then because I grew up in Alief, we've already talked about SWAT.
Yeah.
So I could either play basketball or pretty much play basketball or rap.
Yeah.
So I chose rap.
Actually, you know what? I will say too, just because this happened when Alexander K was on my show, because John was working the producer back end at that time. I'm really glad that John is not here, actually, because what's gonna happen
He would
is
talk a lot.
Yeah, you guys would just be talking, and then essentially it'd be like,
He
fuck
should have
me.
just put you in that chair.
Yeah, it would just be like, fuck me, And so I like the fact that you and I are able to really, engage this and stuff, because, I know you guys would just be talking about all these mutual,
Slump.
yeah, all these references. And that's what was happening. I'm like, I don't know any of these things. And I'm
Community
like,
references.
Yeah, exactly. But, and then speaking of slump, you were part of the Slump Expo. And for those of you who don't know Slump, it's essentially the chopped and screwed version in Dallas of rap, that goes in a more intense audio delivery to a lot of these rap songs that has a lot of like audio play back and forth. Is that kind of a...
Well, we kind of use that as the catalyst to get us out, because back then Screw was hot. Screwed music slowed down. I don't know if they had that in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, we were familiar with it, but we knew that it generated
in the South.
from the South.
I mean, that's everything.
Yeah.
That was everything. So we had that to kind of promote all the artists that were within Slump. But Slump was a whole lot bigger than just Screwed and Chopped.
Yeah.
We had the main people you met, Aziz and Massive. They had songs in You've Been Served. It was the Final Dance Song movie. In that movie, and it says Slump Masters right on the soundtrack and everything.
Yeah.
So we were doing big things, and all the little groups in between us, we were all doing big things as well. But we used the Screwed and Chopped to kind of just push us out like mixtapes.
Yeah. And I guess it's the Dallas evolution of Screwed and Chopped. Yeah. So and I've listened, I've been very familiar with Chopped and Screwed, or Screwed and Chopped, and then listened to some of these Slump tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can hear exactly how different it is.
Yeah. We did speaker to speaker jumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Triple, quadruple chops. I'd bring chops in from like the beginning of the song, and then it would be a verse a minute later, and that one word I was just chopping it the whole time.
Sure. Okay. So ultimately, you were part of this wave, here in Dallas. But then, so what was the transition? Like, you stopped doing real estate in Houston just because you moved out, or?
Yes.
Okay.
My wife, it was my girlfriend at the time, got pregnant.
Okay.
That happens.
Yeah.
Especially with Hispanic women.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah, I do.
So she got pregnant. I was doing real estate. At that time, the internet wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
So I'm pre-internet.
Yeah.
You were probably born with the internet.
No, I'm 87, dude. So, yeah, I was.
Indians do age well.
Yeah. Thank you. And so I remember. I was, when dial-up came out, I was just like, that.
Okay, so so when now you can get online and look at Zillow and all that. Back then you didn't have Zillow. Back then the MLS, like, we had all the power. Like, you could not look at a house without us. You couldn't see what houses were available unless you drove down the street and saw a sign.
Right.
That's the only way you saw it, unless we gave it to you.
Yeah.
But the internet was getting big at that time, so all the I went to seminars and stuff like that. They're all saying real estate agents in and of itself will be dead.
Okay.
There's not gonna be a purpose for them. You're gonna be glorified babysitters. I was like, I'm not gonna make money. And now I've got a girlfriend pregnant.
Yeah.
I took the money that I did have and I invested it into a printing company, and now I had that for 22 years with my brother.
Okay. And you're originally from Detroit.
I was born in Michigan, Jackson, Michigan.
Oh, Jackson, Michigan.
Yeah.
Is that more north?
It's by Lansing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so you were like born and raised there?
I was born there. My mom left me with my grandparents until I was about 4. I've never met my real dad, so my mom came back and got me when I was 4.
That's what got you into the black community, huh?
Yeah. I don't know my dad. My mom was a crackhead. So.
Yeah. Oh, was she really? Oh, man.
She really was.
Oh, okay.
She actually died. I don't want to. If we want to get down that road.
I mean, again, this show is really more of a reflection of who you are as a person and the journey that brought you to where you are. So
one way I learned my hustle, my mom, when I was in elementary and middle school, used to give me pills every morning.
No way.
Yeah, she gave me pills.
What did she give you?
Thorazine, Soma. Soma's a muscle relaxer.
No
she
shit.
just gave it to me. She's like, go get your lunch money. So I learned at an early age. If I
How
need
to
money,
hustle, yeah.
So it was bad
Wait,
that I
in
was
school? Like, who you were selling it to kids?
Well,
What?
I was a kid.
You were a kid selling like
Yeah.
pills to kids? That's wild.
and I would
bro.
take them too. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
all laid out in my chair.
yeah.
But
Holy
yeah, that's
shit.
how I was raised. My mom was a crackhead. She used to leave me outside of crack houses. I've never met my real dad. My stepdad was an abusive alcoholic. So yeah, I
Wow.
had a different upbringing.
Yeah, and then
I did find my biological dad. He doesn't want anything to do with me, but he's a professional clown in Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah, Captain Squints.
Well, that's why you be clowning sometimes.
Yeah, I do be clowning a lot.
Yeah. And
my
then
blood.
so then you know that, I mean, that's a crazy story. I had no idea on that. So that's very, very endearing, actually. I love hearing, you know, a little bit of that rags to riches type of, you know, journey. And then you were with your grandparents, and then
I was with my grandparents till I was about 4. And my mom just like left me. She actually went to Chicago. Oddly enough.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was 4, she was going to Chicago and Florida and all these other places, just being whatever she was.
Yeah.
And then she came back when I was 4 and brought this cowboy. It was a Jewish cowboy guy, big Jew fro, cowboy hat, everything like that. Brought him, and he was going to be my new stepdad. You know, his name was Neil. And she, you know, brought me cowboy hat and cowboy boots and all that. Drug me out to Houston. That was her boss. Found out he actually had a family already, and he wasn't going to leave his family. So then you know, my mom got stranded kind of out there, and she didn't want to take me back to Michigan because I guess pride, you know. Even though she was a crackhead.
Yeah.
So we just toughed it out.
You know, those crackheads have a lot of pride they have to hold on to. Yeah.
They do sometimes.
But like,
that's all I got.
So I guess like, were you still with your grandparents when you went to high school?
No.
Yeah.
When I was 4, she took me to Houston.
Okay.
And I was with my mom from that point on.
Okay.
From 4 on up, I lived in Houston.
Okay.
Southwest side of Houston, Alief. I lived in Alief my entire life.
Okay. And then did the relationship continue after you, like, you know, graduated high school, turned 18?
With my mom?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
Like, is your mom still around?
No.
Okay.
She died complications of hepatitis from shooting up heroin with my stepbrother.
Wow.
He gave her hepatitis. Yeah.
Man, good God.
Yeah.
And so,
we could go on about all my life for like a while.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like, again, I think one thing to note is that, you know, as you're speaking on it, it's not like you're not holding on to.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't use it as a crutch.
Yeah, exactly.
I use it as a stairway.
Right.
Like,
and
I don't want that. So.
You recognize 100% like it was what it was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's not any type of reflection, because I know so many people that take a lot of their hardship of an upbringing as like the reason why they're not doing well now. And I'm like,
I use it as the reason I am doing well.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think there's such a powerful piece to that, man. And I will thank you for sharing that part. And I think that's a beautiful thing to really see that.
Something else weird about it was my grandmother and them, they lived on a lake in Jackson. It was a nice area. It was actually in Brooklyn, right outside of Jackson. But every summer I would spend 3 months there because my mom would get rid of me. So like 9 months out of the year, I was there with my mom in Southwest Alief, where there's drive-bys, there's all kinds of stuff. And then I go to, you know, I don't even know what you'd call it, like Wonder Whiteland or whatever. Everybody's like, hey,
Sugarland?
Hey, neighbor, you know, in Michigan. And it was 2 different worlds. And I'm used to like, don't even look people in the eyes because they're gonna want to fight you or pull a gun out on you. And then I go there and all these people are like, hi. I'm like, dude, what the hell's up with this? So my whole life, I had 3 months. My grandmother would buy my entire wardrobe for the year for clothes for school. Those 3 months, my mom didn't buy me anything. Like we get CPS called on us 6 times.
Wow.
But it was like day and night. It was two different worlds. And I wanted that world.
Yeah. And you worked and developed yourself to that world, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And so did you end up going to college then?
I dropped out of school in 9th grade.
Okay.
And then I got my GED, and I went to college for like 6 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think right there, like, you know, like not even having let's call it the standard high school experience of, you know, following your 4 years through and graduating and stuff. I mean, so what were you doing after 9th grade then? Like if you dropped out of school?
I dropped out of school, and then I got my GED, and I immediately went to college.
Oh, okay. So where did you go to college?
I went to University of Houston, U of H, Houston Community College, and Wharton Junior College.
Oh, okay.
And I don't have a degree.
Yeah.
I just basically went because I like knowledge and I like to learn things.
Sure.
So I started out in psychology because my mom had.
That was the part.
It's really pretty cool.
Yeah, that actually when I kind of have a similar story where like I went to Harper Community College and then transferred to Columbia College in downtown, and that was an art school. So it's like, you know, so I was paying way more for tuition, you know, but that was one thing when I was in community college that I was looking into was I minored in psychology, or I took like 2 psychology classes. And I always said that like if I had the temperament, I guess, or patience to be able to sit there and listen to people's problems and stuff, like I know, because naturally I think, and I'm sure a lot of people come to you for just even natural advice, even outside of having to like buy a home, they just come to you just to, gain in
there's a lot of newer and older agents that ask me questions.
Yeah, exactly. And so and I have that today. So it's like I have friends that are like, man, you could have totally been like a therapist. And I'm like, I've had gone through therapy, and I'm like, I couldn't do what they do just because it's just you're just secluded to a room having to listen. And I also take in a lot of the energy that people, you know, as an MC, I'm taking in a lot of this energy, and I feel like I don't know how I'd be able to reroute that. You know, and I feel like it would end up carrying me, and it, I don't know what it would do to my psyche to have to hear some unbelievably traumatic situations. I mean, but
like we're doing right now.
No, but again, one thing I liked about how you were delivering it is that, again, it wasn't delivered like
poor
a somber. Yeah, it wasn't somber. It wasn't like, exactly. It wasn't like a poor me or just like this really affected, like, oh, it's still affecting me to this day. Yeah. Like, you understand exactly. Yeah, that was the situation. It was what it was, and you're like, I don't think you would have it any differently because it brought you to exactly.
And the main reason I wanted to learn about psychology was my mom. Yeah, my mom was in therapy her entire life. She was bipolar. She was schizophrenic. She was a drug addict her entire life. Yeah. So I wanted to get into her brain and understand why. So I took that for a while, and then I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. Then I took art history, and then I majored in art history because I love art. I love like Salvador Dali and things like that, which I'm very cultured for being where I'm from. For some reason, I just always love art. Yeah. And then I got into photography, and I took photography. That helps. All of these things help me now in real estate. Yeah, exactly. I've taken my own pictures with my phone, and they're better than 90% of the people that take pictures. Psychology. When I deal with other agents, I can get in their head real easily. Like whenever I'm working any kind of negotiations, they tell me everything. Because I come at it like a therapist. And I'm like, hey, you know, my voice is real soothing. It's like a verbal massage. You know what I mean? And then I went on jewelry making. I learned about that. That's when I dropped out.
Jewelry making. I mean, because like a rap artist got to have their.
This was like natural stone jewelry, like tiger's eye, and Lapalooza or whatever that. Yeah, my ex-girlfriend did it, so I did it.
Everything that's not a diamond, pretty much.
Pretty much everything that's not
blings
rare.
That's not a diamond.
It's not gonna blink.
It's dull. It shimmers, I guess.
So I ended up leaving that, and then I got into real estate.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm gonna do real estate, and then I find out, oh, this is going away because the big bad internet's coming, and MLS is gonna be on the internet. So I was like, I can't do that. She's pregnant. I got to leave. So I came up here.
Yeah. And lo and behold, people still need real estate agents to this day.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. So weird.
Yeah. But I think though it's
morphed. It's a lot different than it was.
Yeah. Well, I consider it like, anybody can do their taxes on their own if they want to. Right. But ultimately there's still a knowledge and a know-how to be able to navigate on being able to, properly get the most out of doing your taxes. Yeah. I'm a guy, the one Indian dude that's terrible with numbers, so I'm not going to do my own.
No,
taxes.
There's two. John the Baptist.
Yeah, exactly.
Horrible numbers. There's two.
BLJ definitely. You can't count on him either. But again, it's like it's understanding how to navigate the process, and not everyone is going to be inclined to take that education. They just want a trusted partner to be able to guide them to make the best choices for them, right? And so.
And I encounter every type of situation there is. If you're just like a for sale by owner, or you're just somebody doing it on your own, you haven't. Yeah. You haven't experienced when a house is maybe not put on the CAD correctly. It doesn't have the right address. I just did that. I just closed the house. The address was an incorrect address. The neighbor accidentally put the solar panel lease on this house that they don't own, and the title was tied up, and we couldn't get it closed. But I can get that figured out.
It's attention to detail that the average person that just trying to sell their home or buy a home.
Yeah, you just want to just sell a house real quick.
You're just like, okay, let me. It's like you're not going to read the terms and conditions. You're like, yep, just give it to me.
Yeah.
And so again, it's like having that person, that accountability manager, that's really going to check all those fine parts to make sure that all of it is in working order. You're not looking at complications in the future that's going to eat up more time and more resources and probably more money in order for you to still follow through on that initial plan.
Like when you're looking at a house, like you may see like Rocket Mortgage or something stupid on TV. Horrible. I mean, I'm not gonna say. I don't. Sorry, Rocket Mortgage. It's horrible though. It really is though. But I have a lot of good partners that I partnered up with. They're kind of in my utility belt. You met Steven. I mean, I get good lenders, so you don't have to go find them. Right. I've already vetted them. I've already used them on multiple deals, so I know they can get the deal closed.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Steven can help me with my current upcoming circumstances.
Hey, Steven.
Stephen
Help that guy
DeVries.
out.
Yeah. We'll see.
Power
Yeah.
lending.
We'll see. I might be a challenge when he looks at my record. He might be like,
I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. I love challenges.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what I like.
Let's
I mean,
take it.
I don't want it all cut and dry. I do like cut and dry and easy, but I like challenges too. I like to help people. That's the thing. I like to help new home buyers. I like to help someone that's never owned a house.
Yeah.
The last 2 deals I just closed one yesterday, closed one Friday. First time home buyers.
Yeah.
Never thought they'd get a house.
Yeah.
When we closed, they got money back.
Like
money back. Like how many people close on a house and you get a check back?
Yeah.
The one got 2,200 back. The other one got 14.
That's amazing.
And it's money they put in. It's their earnest money, but they essentially got an entire house and paid like $1,000.
Yeah,
it's their house.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, and
that's what we do. That's why use me. I'll get you money.
Yeah, and I think I guess call me in a similar boat where I'm looking at it. We're like we have no choice but to rent, and it was actually just picking up the call and just being like, you know what, let me just talk to Mike Danielson for a second, and then like you shifted my confidence actually very. I'm like, oh, maybe this is actually a possibility. Yeah. Like maybe we can actually make it work. And
that's why so many people rent is because they don't have a Mike Danielson.
Yeah,
they don't have something. I mean, they don't have anybody like Mike Danielson.
Yeah,
but you should have a Mike Danielson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess this is a good question that I wanted because I started watching this. I started watching this reality show on Netflix called How to Become Rich.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever.
I haven't.
So. It's very, very interesting. It's actually hosted by this like financial guru. He's an Indian dude, Rumit something.
Of course.
But he helps people, that either are actually financially doing well, they just are not managing their finances well, or people that maybe aren't in the best financial, doesn't have the best financial income coming in, and then they're not managing the finances well. But remanaging pretty much asking the question what does your rich life looks like?
Yeah.
And one thing he was talking about was buying versus renting, and how another thing too was that he's like if the cost of your living is to purchase a home is more than 30% of your overall monthly revenue or income. Then you're not in a position, and it's better to rent because as a renter, you're pretty much getting a flat rate, and it's all of the auxiliary costs.
You have a flat rate as long as you're under that lease.
Yeah,
so if you have a 1-year lease, when that 2-year lease comes up, and if the market changes, and it's the rental market, but the rental market lives off of the purchase market.
Yeah.
So when prices of homes go up, their taxes go up.
Yeah.
So they're going to pass that on to you, the renter.
Right.
So right now you're paying $1,400. Next year you might be paying $2,200.
Yeah.
And if you have a mortgage, that's not going to happen.
Right.
Mortgage taxes will go up a little bit and all that, but they're gonna whatever they're paying, they're gonna put onto you.
Yeah.
And you're not building equity.
Yeah.
They're building it. You're building their equity.
Right. And exactly. And I think that I believe in for me I have rented in various situations, and for me I'm just I felt very fortunate from my former living situation in Capel, and I was paying $1,000 a month
for a house.
Well, living in a house, I was in a room. I had 2 other roommates, including the landlord.
It was like house hacking.
Yeah, and essentially, but it had everything that I needed. I was able to I didn't have to pay for a storage unit for my gear. I was able to keep everything in a section in the garage.
You trusted everybody there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that was the best part was that and I also built a fantastic relationship with the landlord. Me and him are still great friends. He's still, he's actually one of my affiliated partners, Teddy Johnson.
Does Teddy Johnson want to sell that house? Now that you're not there?
He won't. He might be actually fully purchasing it from his mom. I think him and his mom they own it together. But I think the title is mainly under his mom's name. But he's doing very well in life. That I think that he's getting himself to a position to be able to just purchase it cash straight up. Whichever case though, it gave me the luxury and the freedom of everything that I needed.
Yeah. And you need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
And but cool. Again, it's if something went wrong in the house,
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry about it, And so that's those auxiliary costs that kind of come through as a homeowner.
Yeah.
That you're oh man, I gotta drop $3,000 on a new HVAC system for your house and blah blah blah.
And those things suck. But when you really think about I always like to take math because Indians love math, right?
Yeah.
So
somebody living
in a house $1,650 a month, right? I mean that's about average, right? That's kind of small for this area. But if you did that for 5 years, you paid like over $100,000 or however many years it was. I factored it when I had, I think it was 1,800, but you paid over 100,000 to somebody else. But like all that time, you could have had to fix an AC or you could have fixed something. But when you go to sell that house, if you owned it, then that 100,000 you paid is already yours, and whatever equity was built in that house because the value's increased, you get that too.
Yeah.
So then you have $200,000.
Yeah.
You know, versus you just paid $100,000 and just burned it up.
Yeah, right.
But you'd have to pay that.
So my ideology and thinking was that like if I'm gonna be giving my money away towards something that I don't own, I would prefer to like give it to like a family member or someone that like I respected. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was just in a normal living situation and I didn't have any relationship with the landlord, like paying that rent would hurt a lot. Would hurt a lot more. You know.
But you helped him and he helped you.
Right,
so
right.
it's mutual.
There was like we would, you know, he would buy me dinner, I'd buy him dinner. We would like sit, we hang out, we laugh. You know, like I built a strong relationship with him that I know that like we'll carry on forever. Yeah. And so I felt okay and better about me being able to give him rent money for his place and stuff, even though I had no equity into it. Like it still felt more of a home and felt like a comfortable situation. But again, like I know I'm not going to be so lucky. So again, like that's why, you know, hopefully we can, you know, move forward, you know, as I'm preparing for my fiance and her kids and being able to have, because they've never lived in a home. And that's one thing I really wanted. Even if, you know, I couldn't get approved, I would be paying rent for a home. Like I didn't want to do an apartment. Like I want to give them a yard and I want them to have a little bit more of a secluded freedom, I guess. And
why, if you did have to do that, which I don't know if you do or don't, but if you do, then we just get you ready for that while you're renting a house for a year.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can help with rentals. I do that too. They call me the lease king in my office.
Lease king.
Yeah, nobody there wants to mess with leases. I will. Because you know what? Eventually those people that lease a house are going to want to buy a house.
Okay.
Or they know people that want to buy houses.
Right.
So a lot of the clients I get are my former lease clients, friends and family and stuff. So
I love it. I love it. So now that you're in this game and you're killing it right now with Keller Williams. So what does your wife do for a living?
Well, for 20 years she was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
While I ran my company, but when I left my company, I was going to lose my health insurance because it was provided through my work.
Yeah.
So I asked her if she could just like help me while I do this and go get a job. So she went to work at the school down the street, and her best friend is like, she works in the same office. So she works at Scott Johnson Middle School.
Okay.
She's the front desk receptionist.
Okay.
But she just has fun all day. She gets to hang out. I mean, she does work.
But
it's her and her best friend.
But it's enjoyable. Yeah. It's not like an overstressful type position.
And the entire time, that's why I worked hard so that she could stay home with our kids. Because I didn't have that. My mom worked 2 jobs. You know, my stepdad was never there either. So I would essentially, when I was like 6, I came home by myself, fed myself. Because my mom worked as a paralegal during the day, and then at night she was a bartender and a crackhead.
I love the casualness of like how that's delivered. And then, so how did you and your wife meet?
So I used to be vice president of some low-rated car clubs in the Houston area, kind of outside of Houston and Rosenberg.
And little like Fast and Furious car meetups.
They were.
Stuff like that.
No, I had a dropped Accord with a body kit just like Fast and the Furious. It was.
I used to have the Civic. I used to have one
drop. You know, with the Wings West body kit and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
And so, actually, one of my friends wanted to talk to her cousin, and he was real shy. He used to be fat, and you know, like a lot of times when people lose weight and then they're skinny, but they still have the fat mind a little bit. Where they're shy and they're like, oh, they're not gonna like me. I've never had that problem. If I'm fat, I don't care. Everybody's still gonna like me either way. So he was interested in this girl, and so he said, hey, I really want to talk to her, this and that. I was like, oh, cool. She was in the drive-thru at Jack in the Box. I got in her car. I just sat down. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I said, you see my homeboy over there? She's like, yeah. I was like, he looks good, right? She's like, yeah. I said, why don't you come out and play pool with us tonight? Yada, yada, yada. You know, I'll fast forward it. But I said, if you have any friends or family, bring them with you. And she brought my wife. And so I was like, damn, I like that.
All right.
And then I just kept bothering her for like
a
long time.
I love that you're actually to a personal reference point, just because you said that you essentially met and got to know each other playing pool. And then after we did that first Villain and Friends show, and then we went to Library Bar.
We were playing pool.
You were playing pool. Yeah. And so I'm like, I love that, man.
Yeah. And we don't get to play it that often, but even when we were dating a lot, we'd go play pool. Because it's how we met.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
but she walked up. She saw us. She did not like our car club at that time. And they pulled in the parking lot and they seen all of our cars. You know, we have the big stickers on the windows and all that. And she's like, who are we here to meet? And she's like, nobody. We're just going to go in. And she's like, is it them? If it's them, I don't want to go in there. I don't have any interest in that. They're just a bunch of thugs, you know, whatever. And she ended up coming in. So, hey, 22 years later.
Yeah, look at
still
you
married
now.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah, still married to the thug, right?
Yeah, but I was an a-hole to women back then, and she's the only one that kept me in line.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you know what? It's an interesting thing because it's like for me, like I think that was always my greatest success with women is the fact that like I came to a point within my own self-confidence that like and especially as I got older, especially when I got like really after my 30s is where I shifted from quantity to quality. And to the point where like I only started shooting my shot to women that I felt like were out of my league, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like the picture perfect, plan for you and
And that was the funny thing with her was that I never would shoot my shot at women. They would come shoot it at me. She's the only one that never did.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what's up with that? And she always like kind of just played like, I don't give a crap about you.
Yeah.
All the stuff you're trying to show me.
Yeah.
Your nice little car and your gold teeth. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah. There was not as much of a savagery as far as like what you were giving back and forth when it comes to me and my fiance. Because that's like for her and myself, I was planning on I was in Chicago already. Was like I'm moving to Texas.
So is she in Chicago?
No, she's in northern Indiana.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I met
That's
her.
Not that far.
I met her through Facebook. Yeah. And it was like, and it was during the pandemic, and it was during COVID.
Yeah.
And then I decided I was moving to Texas, and it was like literally a month later, that it was like people you may know, and then we started just chatting, and I'm like, at first I was like, oh, here's another girl trying to sell me her Snapchat premium account with some like bullshit accolades.
So did you subscribe?
No, I did not. Well, I did, but like, it wasn't a premium account I had to pay for. I just subscribed to her, and so like, but she worked in the radio station. I was like, what, and then I talked to her and I would, just try to, be like, is this profile legit? Like, am I, like, I want to make sure I'm not being catfished here. And then
it's like a 40-year-old man.
It ended up being very, very real. And, just after talking a little bit through Messenger, then eventually it evolved to that virtual date, first ever virtual date that I ever did
in the metaverse.
And then I think the rest is just history. And it was kind of like me and her. I didn't want to be in a relationship moving to Texas. She wasn't planning on being in a relationship. She's only been with one man, which is the children's father, who has no tie, no relationship with her, with the kids, and he really doesn't. He doesn't do anything.
It's like my dad.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a different type of piece of shit, this guy. But like, I want not to go too far into that. Ultimately, she was just like focused on being a single mother. Wasn't planning on, she was like, I'll date when my youngest turns 18. In my 40s, I'll live my life. And ultimately,
life happens.
Yeah,
you can't control
it's crazy. It's pretty wild because we did not want each other, and then that's
when you find somebody.
It drew us to be super honest with each other, and I think that's where probably you and your wife kind of had, where you just were like didn't give a fuck, and you just kind of just.
Well, I was in a relationship with one girl for like 6 years, and when we broke up, it kind of like crushed everything, and I would not talk to any woman more than one time. Like if we were physical one time, I was done. I'm done now. And it was like every day. I mean, different girls like all the time. And I didn't care. I didn't want none of them. I was like, eh. But then her, I don't know what it was about her, but the minute I saw her, I was like, damn. I was like, it was like, how you have a connection and you hear that music that you run to each other or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I love that.
But she
that sounds like a Bollywood movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was Bollywood music. But
but the single tree in the field is.
But she didn't want anything to do with me. I mean, really, and I don't know if that was the biggest attraction. And even when we started dating, like I said, I love you first, and she said, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
all right, but it worked. 22 years later, she still has me. So
yeah, I actually don't know who said I love you first between me and my fiance. I feel like maybe I said it. I think I pretty much was like, this is so crazy because it was like maybe a month or 2 months in. And pretty much right around the time we were about to get serious, and I'm just kind of like, I was like, I feel like this is so crazy to say, and I'm like, but I'm just, to be honest, I'm like, I think I'm falling in love with you. And then she's like, yeah, I think I'm falling in love with you too.
So that would have been nice to hear in return.
Yeah, I know.
I said it.
And then essentially it was weird, man. It everything was just different when I first met her, and I thought it was just like this casual encounter type of thing, and just kind of like, all right, let's just see where it goes. But like then when we first were like face to face with each other and like we hugged each other, like it was just a different feeling hugging someone, And she didn't have no makeup on or anything. I'm like, damn, this girl's fucking gorgeous.
That's how my wife is. She doesn't need makeup.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. And I think actually seeing that, finally meeting your beautiful wife and seeing that dynamic between you two, like just like trust of partnership. And I was like, man, I love seeing that. And
I'm a challenge to deal with, dude.
Yeah, I can imagine,
she'll tell you
dude.
it's not easy, but she knows how to deal with it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break so you guys can go ahead and take advantage of these incredible offers from our sponsors.
Do it.
Don't be too far away. We'll be right back with the one and only Payday, a.k.a. Mike Danielson, y'all. And we're back, y'all, with the one and only Keller Williams star realtor, Mike Danielson, a.k.a. Payday. And we got finally the Evan Williams honey bourbon.
All right, cheers.
All right. I know you are a bourbon guy, too. Right. So
smells good.
Mm-hmm.
Smells good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah,
that is delicious.
Yeah,
I like it.
Honestly, man, like I say it all the time. Evan Williams, honey bourbon, holla at your boy.
I'm gonna buy some of that.
Let me tell you, holla at your boy. I'll put you on every single show that I do.
Mike Danielson,
ready to go.
World famous realtor, rapper, and actor, is going to buy this for himself only because Shawn Kay gave it to me on this podcast.
There we go, man. I'm telling
Evan Williams, whoever you are, give this guy a deal.
This is an old fashioned in a glass. That's the way I see it. It's like it's actually it
does.
And it's built like that too. It's got not only the honey, but they also put like a caramel color and then a
like the simple syrup
and an orange liqueur.
Yeah, I can taste it.
And so it's like I used to be a Jack Daniel's honey type of guy, and then I saw this on the shelf, and I'm like, huh, and it's $20 cheaper. I'm like, okay, yeah, to say less. And so then I tried it, and I'm like, yo, this is even better. Like,
and it's delicious, dude.
It's
real refreshing. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, good stuff.
It's
Evan
fantastic.
Williams.
Evan Williams did it right. They did it right, man. So I appreciate actually a lot of what you shared in that first segment, man. I mean, talking about this journey that, man, goes way beyond to what myself very much did not expect. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people can try and typecast you when they meet you and think like the way you present yourself that you probably had
I'm a chameleon, dude. I can be whatever I need to be.
A fairly cushy upbringing. But
when you hear me talk, I don't change my inflection. I don't change the way I speak to anybody. Dude.
Yeah.
Because my stepdad was a piece of crap, but he did teach me you treat the CEO of a company the same way you treat the janitor.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And so I do, and I don't change myself. Like when I talk to people, when I talk to you, or I talk to a client, I speak the exact same.
Yeah.
It's the way that I speak. I don't change it and go, hi, guy, welcome to the open house. I don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm still like, hey, it's Mike Danielson. You're your local DFW realtor.
But, well, I will say, though, that I think that you'll give your time and attention to anybody who generally asks for it, but you're not going to prolong it if you feel like it doesn't serve you.
If I don't feel the energy, then yeah.
And I'm the same way, just the same way. Like, I'm not going to talk about nobody in my comedy set that I don't have love and respect for. You
talked about me.
And I did.
Yeah.
I brought you up.
You got to cut that in.
Because I had to, and I think that because it's like it's the way you market yourself. I mean, y'all got to look at this. I mean, this motherfucker has himself as Thanos. Like, I mean, again, and this is just one of many versions. I mean, look at this. If you guys want to just.
And if you read the tagline on the Thanos one, I mean, I work it in from the movie. So
if your end game is buying, renting, or selling a home, calling me is inevitable.
Yeah, and I just come up with crap like that.
But again, it's all referenced. Then you have a Lord of the Rings version right here, the Fellowship of the Home.
And I'm on every face on that.
Yeah, you have the Home Finder, like the Godfather. You have
it's the Dos Equis man.
This is most interesting man in real estate.
That's what I'm known as.
Yeah, Mike Danielson, the Indiana Jones version. I mean, like again, like. This is creative, like seeing all look at all these different versions, y'all. I mean,
I have more. I have another 10 that I haven't even posted yet.
Yeah, and so
I just did the Terminator.
But again, I think that what the beautiful part about this is, I'm actually gonna put. Let me see which one is my favorite one because I'm gonna put one of these on my wall. Let's see here. Home to the Future. That's kind of funny.
Put them
on. Man, I like all of these. I feel like I want to somewhat frame like all of this in just like one little thing and just showing all of it, but. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know which one is my favorite one. Maybe Home home of new House Wars and stuff. Look at Mike Danielson's Princess Leia. I mean, seeing you with like little bun tails on your head. I mean, I think
I have a new one where I'm the Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
but I'm also Dorothy. So
okay.
You would enjoy that one too.
I would enjoy that one.
If you like cross-dressing realtors,
I do.
You would enjoy that.
I do. But in 2023, that's a very progressive way, man.
So I've got those are my new. If you scroll to the right, you'll see.
I like it.
Those are. You can show them. You'll be the first person to see those. I haven't posted those.
Look at exclusive on the Metro Icon podcast. The Fast and Furious Realtor. That's good.
And if you scroll to the, I think the right. Or
yeah,
left,
and that's what his arms actually look like.
Oh,
under
they're
the suit.
I'm
yeah,
jacked.
Yeah, he's jacked. He's jacked as all hell. Yeah.
But see, so Robo Realtor.
I did see the RoboCop one, and you made it even, and you make even like the video reels.
Yeah, I make a video to go with it.
Scarface. I mean,
I was gonna show you
the three Spider-Men. Oh my God. You're crazy, bro.
But that's my that'll be 2020. Oh, that's the one I was talking
the Wizard of Realist. Oh, good God.
And then I had the Wolf of Real Estate. You know, I do them all, dude.
And but again, it's like I love the play where it's like I'm every character you want me to be and someone that you can trust, right? Yeah. And these are all franchises that people know, like if they can pop it in our TV, they can trust. They'll enjoy watching it.
The whole reason that came about, I used to do the boring stuff like all the other realtors did. I mean, I didn't really think, I can bring my rap stuff and
Why wouldn't you put this on a billboard?
I'm going to put the most interesting man in real estate will be in McKinney. I'm going to put there's a digital billboard. It costs like $20 a week to stream those. And
really?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
No, it's not. It's like
I would imagine digital ones are probably more cost efficient just because with an actual print one, you have to send a crew to.
No, the digital ones are just as clear. But it's 50 cents a pop, like an 8-second pop, 50 cents. Like at rush hour traffic. So you can pay $20 and you can get like every single day of the week during rush hour traffic. You know, if it's available.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's the goal. I'm gonna do that of it. I have a lot of work right now, so I kind of don't want to do it. I'm really getting like I'm a one man show. I don't have like they call it transaction coordinators. I don't have anybody helping me. I'm doing all my contracts. I'm dealing with every aspect of it, and it gets kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, it's time
But with my ADD brain, I can do it.
Yeah.
You know, I can manage it. But when I start getting a lot bigger, I'm not gonna be able to manage it. I'm gonna have to bring other people in at that point. And I don't know if I want to do the billboard yet because I'm getting very busy. Like I had 2 more people hit me up today to list their house and they want to buy a house. And then I have another listing in my neighborhood. And then I have 15 buyers at Steven right now uploading docs. Yeah. 15. That's a lot for somebody that's been doing this a year.
And it be like that, huh? Like it's just like a trickle down. It's just like put in the work, put in the time and educate yourself in the game. You get that first client, and it's like I think the way you say it, and I think actually it was also re-mentioned on that show How to Become Rich.
Yeah.
But they talk about like whenever starting a business, you get 3 clients, and those first 2 clients can be someone close to you. It can be like whatever, and that third client, that's like that you don't know that person. You just bring them in. And
I just started now. Like I did my cousin's house the other day, but up until right now, I've only done people I don't know because I'm social media 100%. So like my first client, they let me list their house. I'd been doing it a month. I'd been in this a month, but they saw my posts and I would post about, you know, if your dog's paws get hot in the summertime, it's going to hurt their paws. But I put my logo on it and I shared it in every neighborhood group there was. And then I like pool safety. I was like, hey, pool safety. It was things like common sense. Like, hey, don't drown. Okay. You know, and I put like a little cartoon graphic, but I put my logo on it.
Yeah.
And they just randomly hit me up one day and I never even met these people.
Yeah.
They said, hey, we see you on social media all the time. Would you sell our house? Hell yeah. Sell your house. You know? But when I started, that's what it was. I was doing serious things. I was like, if I did a video,
you were doing the standard and staple.
I was doing
like how the game
what
is
they all
done.
do, and that's because that's what they told me I had to do. And you have to go door knock, and you have to go call people 9,000 times. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to bother people because I don't like people bothering me.
Right.
I don't like people knocking on my door. I close the door in their face. I'm like, no. You see that sign? No soliciting.
I didn't call you.
Yeah, exactly. So when I came in, I didn't do any of the door knocking or I called people. Everybody I called, we already know you do that because we saw it on social media.
Man.
So I just one day I made a joke. And I did. One of my buddies goes to Disneyland like all the time, so I made like a little ad and I just sent it to him. It wasn't
Disneyland. He doesn't go to Disney World.
He goes to both.
Okay.
They go 4 or 5 times a year. They go all the time. Yeah.
That's excessive.
Yeah. Well, they love it though. I mean, they dress up and stuff like Belle and the Beast. And all that.
It's cool, but it's just like 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, you can budget out.
Yeah. But I made a real estate ad, just joking, and it was Walt Disney, you know, the statue, and I put my head on it, and I said, if you want to go to Disneyland. If you want the money to go to Disneyland, sell your house. And then I put Mike Danielson Realtor and all that. And he said, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. So I posted it. And as soon as I posted it, everybody was wigging out. They're like, oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. And then my brother-in-law called me. And you ever seen the movie I Love You, Man?
Yeah.
About the real estate agent.
Yeah.
He put the billboards when he was drunk and all that kind of stuff. And so he was like, man, you need to do that. So I made License to Sell from that movie with me on it. And I just made it.
Yeah.
And I put the James Bond music to it. And once I did that, everybody in my office thought I was stupid and they thought I was crazy. Huh. But they did. They're you're never gonna sell a house doing crazy stuff. What are you doing? You're making stupid pictures. You know, I do this in all my pictures because I'm from Houston. It's what we do, chunking up the deuce. They're like, you can't do that. You don't look professional. And I'm like, okay. I was like, watch me work. Because then I started the wheels started turning in my head, and I know what I did in the entertainment industry, and I did all my own graphics.
Disruption.
Yeah. Well, I when I got into the music. I didn't have anybody do graphics for me. I made my own graphics. I taught myself how to do graphics. I taught myself how to do HTML to build websites just by reading source code. I'm pretty smart, even though I don't seem it.
No, come on, dude. Give yourself, I know how smart you are.
Yeah, but so that's the thing though. I started seeing I don't have to do what they do. I don't have to knock on doors. I don't have to call anybody.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna just do what I did in rap. And I'm gonna be crazy. And as soon as I started doing it, everybody that knows me from rap was like, I knew you were gonna bring that kind of energy to this crap. When I saw you in the beginning and you were all like laid back and like, hey, you know, FHA's this and that.
You're trying to fit the norm.
Yeah, and they're like, I knew you were gonna do this. As soon as I put the Lord of the Homes one, they were like, dude, I already knew it. Payday's here. Payday's in the industry now. Hi,
finally,
welcome.
right?
You know, but yeah.
I know, I love that, man, because again, it's like it's such a disruption to the industry standard.
They can't stand it.
And again, yeah.
But now they all call me and they want me to be in masterminds with bigger people, way bigger than me, just so I can tell them what I do. And I say, the first thing I say is, well, are you going to stick your face on Thanos? They're like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. My customers will never call me.
Yeah.
Then you can't do what I do.
Yeah. And so I want to talk about that too, because again, you never let go of your roots, and you still have a big tie to the slump community and everybody involved with that.
And me and Alex, we did music together.
Yeah,
I've been his friend for 20 years.
Recently, we had the Slump Expo, and you had your own like booth in a sense, and I can see you just like you're giving education to, let's call it the hood community in a sense, right? And
well, and that's my main goal. That's always been my main goal. I want to help my friends that have never owned a house.
Yeah, and I love that.
And especially people like you in the entertainment industry. I know a lot of them. You know what I mean? And they don't worry about their credit because they're buying everything cash. Because I used to do it, so I know how it is. You know what I mean? You're not worried about building equity. You're not worried about correcting your credit score or anything like that. You have no credit score because you're just buying everything cash. Like, I used to buy cars $30,000 cash. I just go, I'm gonna go buy the car, but I had no credit. So you can't buy a house when you want to start building equity and start getting investment properties with the money that you're making. You can't have your money make money. So that's what I try to do. I try to educate my friends now.
I love that.
You know?
And I think that is what is. It's bigger than what the impact you're making in the realty game. It's really what you are giving back to, your roots of the community that is, pre-instilled and now currently instilled, that you are giving them a new sense of realization that, like, dude, you can develop more for yourself. And I think that's what I ultimately see coming from you, that like you will be essentially saying no to clients. I'm sure that you're very close already to that boat where you're like, I just can't do it. I would love to help you, but it's just like it's.
I'll never say no.
You'll never say no. Never.
No, I'll figure out. Like you said earlier, you don't have anybody to edit.
Yeah,
You'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
I figure out a way.
Okay, I
always figure out a way.
So, but like where I'm going with it is like I can see you being like leading your own mastermind within the real estate game, and ultimately that's going to eat up so much of your time that, I mean, even if you say yes, you will be having people working probably under you to help facilitate a lot of the tedious detail stuff.
Trying to get your dad back into real estate,
so that you can so that you can get into your own thing. I mean, ultimately, I even see within the next 5 years you're going to open up your own realty firm.
Well, to be a broker, you have to be in it 5 years. So that was a pretty good assessment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal.
And how long you been with Keller Williams?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
And this man,
I celebrated my 1 year anniversary April 1st. So cheers.
Well, cheers to that.
But,
and you closed on a house. You closed today too, didn't you?
I closed yesterday. I closed Friday on a house.
Yeah.
I have another one closing probably
cheers
about 2
and
weeks.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
and again, 1 year in the game, and you're in the top 20%. Is it top 20% of that
of
firm?
my entire office?
Okay.
Yeah. So there's about 260, I think, agents maybe, or 230. It's somewhere over 2. You know what I mean? Over
in
200.
one office. Okay.
Yeah, there's 200 agents in that office, and out of those 200 people, 200 something people, I'm in the top 25. I mean, I'm in the top 20%, but I'm number 25 on that list.
Oh man,
I'm the 25th person, and right before that, I was getting Rookie of the Month every month, like Rookie of the Month, like every single month, and then the bigger people, more seasoned agents, they kept telling me, they're like, stop taking candy from all these babies, and I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you don't even need to be getting these rookie awards because you're way beyond them, and but I was still a rookie, so I was still going to get my awards. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to start taking y'all's awards now. Just joking. I mean, I screw around with a lot of people. But then I got top 20%. I was like, oh, I was not expecting top 20% like at all, bro. I mean, I know I'm doing well, but top 20%, that's big. I mean, that is, it didn't even register in my head when I saw it.
Yeah, and again, it's like you are 100% like you are a variant shape with many angles that are fitting within square holes, and I think that right there for me is such a big catalyst. That what I feel is that you got to be different in whatever game that you're playing, because like so many people are, trying to emulate a success pattern that they've already seen. And they're trying.
But times are changing.
Yeah, and times are constantly changing. And I think that like
what I think is funny is I get into a lot of these like McKinney Cares groups and all these other groups, and anytime somebody says I'm looking for a real estate agent, you see all of the real estate agents, and a lot of them from my office. They all come out of the woodwork, and they're posting the exact same picture that they all make in Canva. I mean, they all look the exact same.
I love Canva though.
Well, I use PixArt for all this, and it's a free app on the phone.
Oh, really?
So you should mess with that too sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the thing though. It all looks the same because they have like a template, and it's like a realtor template, and it's like everybody's thing looks the exact same. And 90 of these people all post, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent. I'd love to help." And then I post the home finder. That's what I post. And I was like, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent that's fun to work with, but I also know what I'm doing. Holler at me." And then they do every time.
You know what I need you to do? I need you to buy me a frame so I can pop all of these into one single frame.
I'll do that.
If you can get me a frame, this will go on my
Just glue it on that painting that's right there.
Hell no.
Did you paint that?
No.
Really?
Actually, this was a gift.
Is that a Picasso?
No,
Picasso. I like it.
I don't know how many of my episodes you've seen, but there's a comedian, Ali Nazari, who's a blind comedian.
I know Ali. Yeah.
Okay. So
really funny guy.
Yeah. And so he started painting during COVID.
Really?
And that was one thing that he was doing. And then when we set up our podcast session at his restaurant, Cafe Ismir in Lower Greenville, I remember before that he was like, "Hey, so what are your favorite colors?" And I'm like, I'm black and gold. That's like those are my color schemes.
Like Pittsburgh?
No.
Oh, like the Saints.
Yeah.
No,
Call me a saint if you want to. But no, it's just everything I do. I mean, even like if you look at a lot of my watches, a lot of my color scheme, if you look at Do It All, if you look at DIA Media, everything is black and gold. I just think that it's the most strongest, fiercest.
Yeah.
I think it just goes with everything, but that's just what I resonate to. And when I did my episode, he presented me with this.
It's a beautiful painting.
Yeah, it's so like
and I appreciate it that much more now that I know Ali.
Yeah. And it's like when you understand, I'm like, no, this was done by a blind person. And
funniest story about him: the very first time Alex ever got on like a big stage which was Addison Improv. Was shout out to KG. KG. Okay. You know KG, right?
Yeah.
So KG got him on his first KG and Friends, and Ali was one of the people. That's how I met Ali.
KG and Friends.
Yeah.
So Villain and Friends is
not
semi-original. Oh shit, Alex.
No.
Oh shit.
No, so that's a thing. Like at a lot of comedy clubs, but mainly Addison Improv.
Yeah,
and
I'm doing a show with Panda Chacon.
They always call it
at Hyenas in the Red Room on not this Saturday, May 6th, the following Saturday.
But he didn't call it Alexander K and Friends. So
so
that's the difference.
But this one is called Panda and Friends. And so,
but they all are.
Yeah.
I mean, usually that's usually when you have like a group of different comedians, they always call it and Friends.
Yeah. So like I'll never just knowing that. I will.
You're not going to call your show?
I will never have
Amigos.
an and Friends. No.
Say Shawn Kay con los amigos.
The showman's amigos.
The showman con los
amigos. There we go. Well, shit, man. I think that I think ultimately, man, like I love the work that you're doing. I appreciate what you've been offering as far as just like beyond the education of within the game that you're in. Really, I think hearing the story of the really what developed to the man you are today, that like yo, you can make your own future.
Anybody can.
Yeah, your past is not set.
And I tell people that every day. Don't use it as a crutch. Use it as a stepladder to go to the top.
So I got to ask, and you have, what, 3 kids?
That I know of.
Okay, you have 3 kids.
Yeah. 3 girls.
3 girls.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
21, 18.
Do you feel
16.
like you deserve?
Oh, I do, 100%.
100%.
I've always called that player punishment. Is what I call that, because I used to treat women like dirt.
Yeah.
And actually, all my wife's cousins, when she started talking to me, they said he's a hoe.
Yeah.
I'm a male hoe.
There is actually even like an old time like Indian. It's like a folk's tale type of thing.
Like a parable, kind of.
If you have a girl as your first child, it's because you had multiple premarital relations.
I did.
And I know it's not.
No, I didn't.
I know it's not true, because I know people or fellas that, like, definitely had fun running the game and had boys as their first child. And ultimately, I always felt like I would love to have a boy as a first child, but I've actually had actual dreams of holding a baby girl. And
I'll tell you, being a girl dad, dude, different world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I love my girls more than anything.
My sister, had 3 girls, and it's like, and my brother-in-law is bred in a family of boys.
Yeah.
Like, even his twin brother had 2 boys, and he only has he has his twin brother and an older brother. But most of the family bred boys.
Yeah.
And so, like, him having 3 girls in a row, like there's also
there's
another
stigmatism.
There's also another saying within our culture where they say that the boys bring strength and protection, but the girls keep the family together.
And they bring life.
Yeah, and they bring life and bring the family together. So, how old are your daughters?
My oldest is about to turn 22 in September. My middle daughter is 18, and then my smallest is 16. And they all live at home right now.
So, are they gonna be following in Daddy's footsteps, you think?
With music, or no?
Oh no. Well,
my oldest,
real estate.
My oldest just started doing real estate classes. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
She's
taking the Keller Williams classes.
There it is.
She's on a break from school right now. So she's studying to be a radiology tech, and the classes were kind of kicking her ass. So she kind of dropped the semester.
Yeah.
She's like, I have 5 months of doing nothing. She's like, I just do real estate. And she's the same way as me. They're all the same ways. They all have my brain. So she'll easily do
Which
that.
I'm sure is fun for your wife.
Oh, yeah. Because especially her, because she has ADD, so she talks a mile a minute. Like, we can both talk to each other. We understand it. But my wife does understand it now.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to control my brain right now as I'm talking, whenever I talk
That's why I
about
love my Adderall prescription, because
I used to have it too. But I had to stop taking it because
Why?
it doesn't make me. So when I was in college, like high school, I had probably a 0 GPA. I didn't write my name on papers, right?
Maybe you overdid it.
What, the Adderall?
Adderall.
No, just I took the required dose, and what it would do, and I mean, you probably know if you're taking it, it would just, the minute that it would kick in, my brain would just start making this wah wah kind of sound, and I couldn't talk, and I couldn't do like oral reports in college, but I could do college work. I was like a mathematician, dude. I was like, holy shit, I love math. Holy, these numbers. Oh my god, I used to hate math.
I still hate math.
Well,
even on.
But
Adderall.
I'm saying Adderall, I love math, dude, and I do not. I mean, I like math when it comes to money or when it comes to weights for. but
working out.
Yeah. But no, it's just when I started taking it, it really helped me with my schoolwork. Like I had a 3.78 GPA the entire time I was in college, and I was excited. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're smart," and they want to cheat off me and shit. I'm like, I'm a dropout. But
even the Asians.
Yeah, even the Asians. But I could not. Speaking on that, my best friend's Vietnamese, and he's worse than me. But what was it? I lost my train of thought.
You were doing math in college. And
but when I would try to talk to people, like my personality, I love talking to people, and I can talk to anybody, and it's just like walk in a room and I just conversate. I have no issues with it.
100%.
Nobody's a stranger. You know what I mean? But on that, I couldn't do it. On that, it took over my brain, and I was just like felt uncomfortable even talking to people because I was like my words aren't coming out right. I was like my brain wasn't working how my brain works.
Yeah, and I think that there's variant. I know that there's obviously there's Adderall, there's Ritalin, there's like
my daughter actually takes Adderall. Okay, I used to take Ritalin.
Yeah, so was it Ritalin or Adderall that you took?
I took Ritalin.
Okay,
my daughter took Adderall.
Okay,
she still takes it.
So that's why.
Maybe.
Because I took Ritalin, right? Mm-hmm. Like once I was diagnosed, so I was like 19, and I was diagnosed.
That's when I was diagnosed. When I started college.
That therapist put me on Ritalin. And
that's all they had back then.
And when I did that, I was the same exact way. So that's why I was a little confused. I'm like, Adderall made you silent. I'm like, I remember that what exactly you're talking about. I went through that with Ritalin.
So my daughter takes it with Adderall. The only problem she has is she never is hungry. And she works out like a beast. Dude, she's like swole. I mean, she has bigger muscles than me.
Yeah, it's definitely an appetite suppressant. Yeah, it's definitely an appetite suppressant. But it's not like anything that you will get hungry. You know what I mean? Like you're going to, and I do intermittent fasting, so it actually helps
all of
me to
those
balance.
are basically methamphetamines. Is what they are.
Right, exactly. So like, but when I took Ritalin, that was what it was.
If you
like,
overdose, you'll run naked down the street.
when my mom saw me on Ritalin, like it freaked her out because I wasn't who I was.
Exactly.
And she knew that and saw that, and she's like, "You don't need it. You're gonna figure it out." And then it was years and years later. Then when I went back into therapy, then they were like, no, you need a specific, and I have a pretty extensive dosage with it when it comes to Adderall, but then it was like,
and you can do comedy on it and everything?
It's comedy's even better.
Really?
Yo, because I pay attention to details.
Yeah.
And like, and
see, when I rapped, I would just do methamphetamines to make it easier.
But
just kidding.
That rock game was strong, you know. But like, no, I feel like that. I guess therapy is 100%. I think has done more work for me than the Adderall could have ever done, and I think that through therapy, it helped balance a lot of my truth, understanding, and perspective or perception. That may turn Adderall more into like a super pill than like a hindrance, and
kind of like the what's that?
Ultimately,
Unlimited
like
like that movie.
Ultimately, like Limitless.
Yeah,
you're thinking about it, but like even in situations, right, where like let's call it like more high stress situations, and you know, there's a lot that's processing within my brain, but I'm not reacting so quickly, and I'm like processing and I'm taking it all in, and like, and I'll also think doing improv helped me become such a better listener, and ultimately really just helped me to really properly process a lot of these situations, take it in and give myself that breathing, and then through therapy give myself that breathing room to really truly process and then deliver, right? But ultimately, I'm quicker on the cuff. You know,
I think ADD is a gift.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Well, I mean, I think any realm within the spectrum.
Nobody else can do what. I mean, I don't know if you're the same way as me, but I can do like 5 things good, like better than most people, because my brain can process all of them at the same time.
Do 5 things well.
Good. not speaking like proper English is not one of those things. I didn't say proper English was one of those things.
I'm giving shit. I'm just giving shit. No, but like, no, I feel you that it's, but again, it's like with everything also that I have going on, that I'm trying to balance, you know, within my life and my lifestyle, my career. I consider it a gift, and I don't overdo it. I balance it very, very well. But it's been a strong gift for me, and I think that, you know, obviously to each their own. Everybody has their own DNA code, and
I have a history of addiction, so I try not, because I don't do anything half-assed.
I understand
ever.
That.
Like I drink bourbon. I drink a shitload of bourbon. I don't drink it all the time. You won't see me like just randomly, like right now. You won't see me randomly drinking at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday. But special occasions.
You even asked me, like, is it too early? I'm like, nah, man, afternoon delight. Let's go.
but you know what I mean? It's like, but when I do, I go full ass. And I do that with anything. So that's why I don't want to do the Adderall, because I won't just do a little bit. I'll end up like, maybe I need to take a little bit more. I'm not focused enough, or, you know, whatever. I just don't like to depend on anything. You know, it's just,
I mean, I think it's understanding your balances, and I think.
And I've trained myself for over 20 years without it.
But I also feel like you're a very conscious person, so that I think that I feel like you're also in a position of your mental state where like you wouldn't allow yourself to overdo it.
Yeah.
Where like essentially you would find the mark that gives you exactly what you need, and you're like, I don't need to.
I don't. That's why I have my wife. Like she doesn't drink when we go in public, because I don't have an off switch. There's no off switch. If she's not there, I'll have 20 Long Island iced teas. And it doesn't even faze me. I mean, at some point, it's either sober or completely.
So do you want to? Are we blaming the drinks though for the punchy bag game?
Yes,
isn't it?
100%. Yes, I'm actually usually very good with that. I had quite a bit to drink. I had quite a bit to drink.
I was going so back and forth in my mind when we talked about you guys playing pool and then coming back from like you guys' first meeting. I was like, oh shit.
So funny story about those. With my wife's cousins, we used to go to the fair every year, and we broke those machines.
Oh my god!
I didn't personally break them, as you could tell. That was horrible. That was.
I definitely wouldn't have put it on you to break those machines.
I want a rematch with that machine. There was something wrong with that machine when I think. I think maybe you broke it before I played it, and then it was already broken. And it
no, because didn't you hit first?
No.
Oh no, I hit first. No, because I challenged.
You broke it.
I hit it first. Yeah. Well, like fine. You know what? I'll let you.
You broke the machine.
I broke the machine first, but we did do a second round. And
no, we only did it once.
No, we did it 2 rounds.
Did we?
Yes.
I missed it the first time.
No, yeah,
I didn't even hit it.
No. So this is what happened. Let me talk about what happened real quick. All right? Because no, this is going in because you wanted to play pool and stuff, but then I was like caught up in the conversation with Alex coming off just a fantastic show.
Did you meet Travi that was there?
I think so.
So Travis in the Bodega Brothers?
At the show. Oh,
Bodega
yeah,
Brothers.
the white dude.
Yeah, the other white dude.
Yeah, the other white dude. Yeah, I did meet him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, and so, and then I was like, I asked Alexander Kay, I'm like, yo, let's do this punching bag machine.
He's also from Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, Travi?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. Love. And then, and so, oh, wait, no, I think he did tell me, but he's like, oh, I'm from Joliet. I'm like, bitch, that ain't Chicago.
That's Blues Brothers territory.
All right, whatever. But then I asked, I was like, Alexander, I'm like, yo, let's do this punching bag machine. He's like, nah, bro. Like, yeah, he's like, I ain't.
He's smart.
He's like, fuck that, man. He's like, I ain't putting myself in any type of position to like overstep like my rep, type of thing. And then so he's like, but ask Payday. I'm pretty sure he's gonna say yes. And lo and behold, you were like, let's do it. Like you're like, let's fucking do it.
I never say no.
You're right.
Just me.
And so we go up, and I set the challenge. So I did the first punch. And I got like just under, I think 800 or something like that.
I think it was 300.
No, don't shut up. I remember the numbers.
I have a picture. I have a picture of it.
Yeah, and then
I do.
And then no, it wasn't 300.
I think it was.
It was you.
No,
it was you that got 300. Yeah, no, because that first round I got just under 800, and then you did it, and you got like 300 something. Yeah. And I was like, oh, whatever. And you're like, let's go again. And so I was like, fine. And then I did another punch, and it was fairly consistent with the first punch. Yeah. And then you did your second punch, and it was worse. It was like two low 200s. It
was like 100.
And it just made it even funnier. And then I look back at Alexander Kay. He's like, this is why I didn't want to do that shit. He's like, I didn't want to put myself.
We're older than you.
Yeah.
My bones are like
brittle.
Yeah.
I think it was also that little backstep kick that you did.
Was
on
it?
The second one? Yeah. That kind of.
Was it my fanny pack?
That kind of threw. Yeah.
Did my fanny? I think my fanny pack got in the way of my arm.
I think it was your rainbow aura that really held you back.
It always does.
Yeah. But you held your head high through humility with levity, and ultimately it was a good time. We had a fun night, but like
I don't ever get embarrassed.
Yeah. And that, you know what? I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
It's like I always like, even if I'm like tripping on I like trip off like the curb of like a street.
Yeah.
I'm too smooth to be embarrassed.
Exactly.
I just tell myself that. I'm like, it's rare that I will actually feel very, very embarrassed. I
just don't give a shit what people think.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
I will like, I'm at a point now, especially doing stand-up comedy, that sometimes I will live. I will never feel embarrassed, but I will live in defeat for the sake of comedy. Because
a lot of people try to get me to do that, and I respect your craft enough not to do it. I'm funny. I'm a funny dude. But I'm not a funny dude like stand-up comedian funny. Yeah. Y'all are different. It's just. It's a gift. It's a different gift. My gift is down here, not on the stage. I mean, on the stage rapping. Yeah. Also not a gift.
Although after the comedy show is over, you will go on stage, grab the microphone, and be like, "Hey, take a couple pictures of me so I can post up that."
Yeah, I just want it. Yeah. And I said, if you want to buy or sell a home, don't do it alone. I said that on the stage, but I don't have any recording.
Yeah. Don't be funny. Don't be funny. Do it smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't have to bomb because there's no crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I gotta say, man, this has been just as intuitive as I felt it was going to be, and I very much appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you having me, brother.
No, of course, man. I mean, it was going to happen. Yeah. Like when I sat down with Alexander Kay, and then after the first time meeting you, I was like, he's coming on the podcast, and I even told John, I'm like, I'm getting Mike on the podcast because outside of
you getting Mike or Payday?
No, I was getting both.
People.
No, I'm getting both. I'm getting a 2-for-1 deal on the show.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Free of charge.
And the title of this episode might be "Learning the Payday with Mike Danielson,"
or "Payday the Plug,"
or "Payday to plugging it with Payday."
That sounds gay.
Yeah, well, but
But hey,
that's comedy.
That's right up your alley.
It's comedy. But no, but I outside of the I guess call it the entertainment aspect of bringing you on the show. Really, I knew that you were going to bring a level of education to this current game that you're in that is going to really play a strong card for a lot of people going into or looking at possibly maybe wanting to buy a home or sell a home or whatever,
investment properties
or just
anything.
looking at investment properties, which ultimately I even talked to my fiance and I feel like her doors are so open, right? Where there's so much different I'm looking at it where her coming out here, she has options, right? Can she do it? She can, interview for radio. Radio is in a fickle industry standard right now. It's still going.
Is that what she does?
She does. So yeah, she's been doing radio.
She's an on-air personality, or
she started off as just a traffic director.
Wow.
Where she was just pretty much 24 hours. She was managing each individual slot for each song and commercials and segments and all that.
That's cool.
For the radio station, and then became a producer, then became an on-air personality, and she's now the number one on-air.
I have a feeling y'all are going to be like a super couple.
That's what a lot of people are saying, and I think that one thing I love is that she did not see. I see her as she was a diamond that had a lifetime of dirt thrown on her.
Yeah,
and I recognized that diamond, and I'm just let me break those shells off. You know, and as I started doing it. Man, she just started shining and and then she started her own business. And dude, bro, when I tell you, when she started her business, Sonata de Pilar, she does vocal drops for DJs and producers and all that kind of stuff. I start every single one of my shows and you're the man, the voice, the do-it-all entertainer. It's Shawn Kay the Showman. She
you got that from her?
Yeah, no, that's hers.
Oh,
yeah.
that is her.
And
cool.
she produced it, and then I have dry drops that doesn't have any production elements behind it, so that I can drop it on songs and all that kind of stuff. But it's all her. But she does that for even radio stations.
How much does she charge you for that?
She doesn't.
Sweet deal.
I pay in.
Sweet deal.
I pay in.
You wash some dishes, whatever.
It's never with money. I wash some.
You give up the booty.
Yeah, I wash something. But no, it's she developed them, and dude, when I tell you, dude, she has DJs and producers now hitting her up from Belgium, Argentina, all over. I'm all over the world. She's literally gotten accolades now way beyond that I've even touched how many years into the game.
And see, that's a big part of what I want to do is people like y'all. You have no credit. I don't know. I've run your credit, but I'm just saying, you haven't been thinking equity wise and future wise yet. But now you are.
It seemed like a possibility.
But that's what I'm saying. I want to give you the possibility.
Yeah.
I can give you the confidence to do it because I know you can do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
come on, Shawn.
I think Well, here's the thing: is that if you give us the opportunity, if you give us the faith, it's the same thing. I look at my my car, right? I wasn't even in a credit solution that most dealerships or financiers would help me finance my car to
Unless
own
it's
it.
18%.
Exactly.
That's what my daughter they try to do.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was building the relationship with this dealership. Shout out to Toyota River Oaks.
Shout out.
Jason and the team. You guys were phenomenal. But getting to know me. And I also offered to do DJ their community networking
So if I get you a house, you're gonna DJ all my open houses?
I can.
That's actually thinking of that. That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
If you wanted to do an open house and have
as soon as people walk in, hey, welcome to the open house. Cinnamon on the stage.
You got Cinnamon just walked into the house. She's taking out the master bedroom and she's liking what she's seeing.
Climbing up on the island.
But but if I were to DJ it, you would actually have an MC for your open house. That's really what it is.
I'm an MC.
Exactly. But I'd be able to give you pass you the microphone.
I'm the Fresh Prince. You're Jazzy Jeff.
Don't.
I'm Fred Flintstone.
No.
You're Barney Rubble.
Stop. You better chill out, dude. chill out. Because trust me, I got more years. I got years.
I'm Tango. You're Cash.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna let you feed whatever this Evan Williams is doing for your confidence right now. I'm gonna let it feed and let it ride because. All right. So, but no. Again, I would be willing to build a relationship to show my accountability that I'm like, if you give me a chance, I'm not going to let you down.
And that's what it's all about.
And so ultimately, you know, and again, they gave me not only a phenomenal discount on a brand new car.
Is that your white car outside?
Yeah, that one. And which is a 2019 where people like, and I drive Lyft. That Lyft is my only side hustle. And people come to my car and they're like, what year is it?
Do they know that you're Shawn the Showman?
Well, they realize because they have all my signage and everything is in my back seat, you know? And that's the biggest reason.
Oh, you have it on the seat too. I saw it on the back window.
Yeah, but like if you go in, so I have a plastic filter like that I can remove if I want to. But
that's cool.
I have a plastic filter, you know, so it kind of feels like a little like Chicago
like a taxi,
type. Yeah. And then I have my signage like Shawn Kay the Showman. Then I have my QR codes all in the back.
Sweet.
I have the rules in my car.
Dude, that's cheap.
And people like sometimes because I know I'm not going to engage in a conversation with every single person.
Really?
But a lot of the times when the conversation is engaged by
every
the
time I'm in an Uber or Lyft,
they're
I
like,
start a long conversation.
They're like again, I know I say my general things. But as far as the
don't throw up on my seats.
no. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'll know they're drunk.
If you need to pee, I will stop.
Yeah. I'm like, well, we'll get the fuck over. But or like if I picking up a drunk passenger and stuff, I know right off the bat that they're like when they walk in, I Shawn, like it's like. Yeah, I know that they're fucked up. But no, like a lot of times it'll be like fairly silent. I'm just kind of like, you know, in my own zone, listening to my podcast or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're like, so Shawn Kay the Showman, like, what is that? Who is that? Is that you? Like, and that's how, like, I would say 99% of my conversations are.
Have you gotten any business off that?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah, I would say like a small handful.
Like wedding stuff?
No, like corporate, private.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
corporate?
Yeah. So like, So I mean, you know, man, I've met some contacts, man, that like have been pretty dope. Like, I met the owner of Capit, and they were a Shark Tank winner.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they it's like a little like thing that just you put over your drink to make sure you don't get raped type of shit. You know? But
Do you have that problem?
I met no. We just live in a society that is.
You put your own things into drinks. So that someone will rape
I'll
you.
do it to myself. Yeah. But like, no, I met the owners and you know, it was interesting, and they, you know, were.
Dude, you meet so many interesting people.
Yeah. Oh
Uber.
yeah. I met the owner of Bloom Labs. You know, the #1 THC Delta 8 company.
Oh, really?
In Deep Ellum, right off Elm Street.
Sweet.
And he invited me over to their labs, and like even when they were doing their big networking party at Bloom nightclub, which my boy Matt is the GM of. He was like, he's like, hey, I'm doing this party. I want to put you on my guest list if you want to come by. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I came in, and dude, like he gave me like edibles and gave me like pre-rolls of these, like, he's like, yo, this is like Delta 9. This is actually like the most strongest like brand.
They have a Delta 10 now.
Yeah, yeah.
And is that even legal here?
I mean, like, well, so you know that, I mean,
I don't know a lot about it. I know a little bit.
They've decriminalized marijuana, and I think in the state of Texas.
Really?
Like, well, no, it's in the House.
I
think it's in the House.
Was,
it's in the House to get passed.
I understood Trump passed something where it made Delta 8 legal because it's the chemical, the cannabis chemical.
It's like
Well, Delta 9 is the THC chemical.
Yeah.
But now people are selling Delta 9. I'm like, isn't that real THC?
Yeah, but again, it's like
and Delta 10 is what?
It's such a
Delta 9 mixed with crack?
Yeah, but it's such a finesse because these like smoke shops or whatever that is selling Delta 8, Delta 9, whatever.
I've had them. They're pretty
can
good.
very well still sell THC flower.
And nobody will know.
And nobody would know.
Yeah.
No one would fucking know. So
Yeah.
it's like Texas is starting to understand. Like I know Denton is now completely
it's a college town.
Yeah, it's completely decriminalized. But it's already, I believe, in the House for the state of Texas for it to be fully decriminalized.
Abbott won't pass it. As long as Abbott's there, he won't pass it.
But but he's
and it might make him walk.
But he's close. He's so close to the end. You know what I mean? Like
of his life?
Yes.
Or
he's seeing the
term?
Light. Yes. He's seeing the light. Ain't he in a wheelchair,
It might make
bro?
him walk. It might make him walk.
Ain't he like a Roosevelt right now? Like
Yeah.
So like, I mean, again, so it's like I'm gonna give it 5 years because again, one thing I know about the state of Texas is this is a state that likes money.
They still don't allow gambling.
And then that's another thing that
needs to be legalized. I got to drive all the way to Choctaw.
But I'll tell you this.
Or the bathroom over in Oak Cliff.
But you know how many I've gotten a good number of passengers though that gotten very strong Lyft rides that would take them to WinStar, and then they would pay me an additional like $200-300 just to wait for 2 hours
If they win.
No, well, oh no, they would still pay me.
Really?
Yeah, they give it to me. They'll give me I'll give you $100 cash.
So do you actually wait, or do you go in and gamble, or what?
No, I'll wait. I'm not a fan of gambling.
I wasn't, but I don't gamble anything more than I take.
Yeah, well, so
there's people that
I think I only gamble with the mindset to feel comfortable to lose.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like if I have
if I take $500,
yeah,
I don't get any more money out.
If I have $500 that I'm putting in to gamble,
yeah,
I'm okay losing that $500.
Because it's just like you would pay for any service.
Exactly.
Pay for anything fun.
Yeah.
A prostitute.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hookers and blow.
No. I will put it in for like excursions.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, you know?
Like a Ford excursion?
Yeah. No, hell no. That Ford. I'll never
My best
get
friend
a
had
Ford.
one of those.
Yeah, but ultimately though, yeah, I mean people will, if they wanted to gamble, but they will pay me $100 and be like, hey, stick around for 2 hours, and when I come back to the car, you'll get another 100. I'm like,
so
okay.
In that car, you have their undivided attention, which is the most beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And I get in those cars, I always have a conversation about real estate. And I actually rode to the open mic at Comedy Arena, and the dude that took me, I was talking to him.
I'll do their shows, and I will go and I'll still host the karaoke, but I won't do the open mic no more.
Really? How come?
There's a little bit of a shift with that because George Red Speaks used to host
is he not doing it anymore?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of finagled.
When did that happen? Because the last time I was there, he did it.
Yeah, but that was like over a month ago.
I saw some other dude. It's not that dude. The other dude.
Kevin DeAnda.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy you know.
Yeah.
I saw that name on
Well,
there.
you seen him on a show, but yeah, he that was a little bit of a finagle.
Yeah, that's weird because George did a great job.
Yeah. And the funny thing was too is that George is the reason
that blew up.
Well, George. Well, not that it only blew up,
Started.
but that Kevin DeAnda got his spot to shine. George gave him a guest host spot. George was the first one to put him on the first show at Comedy Arena.
Kevin did a decent job.
Yeah,
but that show I went to was all people from the open mic.
Yeah, Comedy Arena, though, doesn't know about Kevin DeAnda if it wasn't for George Red Speaks. And then not only did Kevin... It was one thing that Kevin take. He could have very well done it in a very smart fashion to maintain his credibility and relationships all around, where George would have 100% supported him. But he did it behind his back, unapologetically, and then went even deeper to put George down and pretty much say that George wasn't shit, and George doesn't put anybody on, and I'm like, dude, George put you on, bro. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you, George puts on a lot of people.
Yes, and
George even put me on. I have his mom.
Yeah,
I'm gonna help his mom buy a house.
Yeah, and so George, he puts people on knowing full well they have the potential to do even better in comedy than him.
Yeah.
So it was like Kevin just did not present his best self. He really exposed himself to exactly who he is. And ultimately, I just can't support that type of host, that type of character. As a man who I believe in loyalty, I believe in integrity, transparency, and honesty. I'm like, yo, this man.
I thought maybe he just stepped down for one thing. I didn't know.
No. Yeah, and Kevin then started putting down George's credibility and all this kind of shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And so that's why
I'm Team George. Team George.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. Also, Kevin DeAnda is the first person that was featured on my podcast that has ever been deleted.
Really?
Yeah, you can't find his episode no more.
So am I going to be deleted also?
No, never. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't
think that.
Because here's the other side too. The reason why I love doing these podcasts, man, is because I'm able to have a more intuitive conversation to really get to know this person, that's sitting in front of me, and it transcends the relationship from that.
Yeah.
And so I know that if I'm putting somebody in the seat for me to come on my podcast,
you want to get to know them.
Yeah, I want to get to know them, and I want to evolve our relationship. Yeah. And
are we actually going steady now?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, steady. Look at this. This is how old this motherfucker is going.
47
steady.
tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
April 27th.
Happy birthday. Yeah. My oldest niece, Jazzy, her birthday's on the 29th, so it's Saturday, yeah.
So my birthday's April 27th. My grandfather's birthday was April 28th. My middle daughter, her 19th birthday will be April 30th.
So. I love it.
And then you're the 29th, you're a family member, so that puts right in there with your name.
Yeah, right there. Yeah,
so
it's family coming in.
Yeah,
coming
exactly.
Through.
All right.
And it's funny. There's a reflection point too, even between Pilar's family members and their birthdays and all that kind of stuff within my family.
Yeah.
So it's weird how it works out like that. Because 1 in 365 chance, it could have been any which way. Whichever case, man, I want to once again thank you, dude, for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, brother. I
thank you for coming up. For me, it's all about showing up.
Thank you for bringing up the punching bag.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna go there, but then the door kind of opened.
So should we redo the intro because I didn't really understand the mic originally?
No.
Are we good?
No, you're good. I mean, we can still hear you.
You can boost my level.
You just can hear you better now.
Yeah, because I'm not shy.
Yeah,
in the beginning, I didn't know where the mic went.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And so ultimately, I'll be able to increase the volume on that first segment and the second segment. It'll just be really good. Otherwise, to close out this podcast, I don't know if you're familiar in how I always close out this podcast, but I always have my guests leave off on a final sentiment. The way I see it is that if this was going to be the last thing that you were ever going to say on a visual or audio platform to push out to the world, you leave off with that last sentiment of whatever you want to say to the world.
Okay. I would say if you want to buy or sell a home, don't do it alone. Call Mike, 972-880-4105. You can find me on all social media at Mike Danielson Realtor. I also have Payday Plays, Southwest Payday. Look for The Villain, Alexander Kay, new show coming up. When was that? It's in August.
I don't know. It's in August, but he didn't put me on.
Oh, but you can come.
Yeah.
And film it. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I have a contract in place, I'm going to take it. Yeah.
Okay.
I fulfill commitments.
But yeah, no, I just really appreciate you. I mean, dude, I appreciate you as a person. I actually enjoy the relationship we're building and stuff.
Yeah, likewise.
I think we're both 2-3 years. We're both gonna be on top of our games. So whatever we're doing. I mean, there's no way around it.
We're gonna be sharing a lot more bourbons together, a lot more celebrations together.
You'll have 30 investment properties at that point.
Oh man, dude,
let's 30 more kids.
Let's no, come on. I air horned on the kid. That was terrible. Yeah, you
terrible idea.
You snuck that in really well.
If you horn on the kid, you're getting the kid.
Yeah, no. Well, you fucked me up now.
That is a Hispanic woman.
Now I'm gonna have like 10 less investment properties just because that kid's coming in.
No, you gotta have it for the kids.
Yeah, but outside of the general plug, though, any last message you want to put out into the world? Like anything positive that you want to do?
I mean, like what? Let me give me an example.
I mean, just something that let's say like it's a truth that you live by, something that internal, something that.
I treat everybody like I want to be treated. I mean, I've always been taught that. I'm not dishonest. I don't shit on people or anything like that. I just like to deal with people in a fair way, And I just I like helping people just realize their best self. You know what I mean? If that's whether it's in real estate, whether it's in acting, whether it's in managing Alexander Kay or anybody. And I try to connect people.
Yeah.
So like just making connections as far as like Alex and you and different people just that all help each other grow.
Well,
So
I appreciate this.
That's what I try to
do.
do.
That's real. I love it.